Hello, and I'm Jennifer, and this is Sarah.
Sarah.
And we are here today to talk about dynamic. It's going to be a part of every class. It's important for balance, and we're going to tell you why. There actually is an exercise based definition of balance, and we're not using that. We're using the Webster's dictionary definition of balance of dynamic, which is characterized by constant change, activity, and progress. And today we want to talk to you about how that relates to improving your balance and then give you ways that you're going to see it in all of our classes and ways that you can work on it at home. And then you'll have a handout with some exercise suggestions that help you work on improving your dynamic balance. So, working on dynamic balance is working on the balance that when you need it, that you don't plan. It is for the unexpected. You have got to have everything ready so when the unexpected happens, you're ready. Your body knows how to prevent that fall, how to act fast. Just think about it. Your body needs to be able to react to if a tree falls, if you get out of the car and the ground isn't the surface you're expecting, maybe the sidewalk is all messed up, or a dog gets off the leash and runs after you, so a boy throws a ball and you have to swerve to miss it, you have to be ready with quick reflexes to prevent a fall, and that is being ready for the unexpected. And as we get into it even more, you'll see that we have different muscle fibers for that. We work differently for that. And so we want you to be ready for the unexpected. And every time you hear, we're working on dynamic fitness, you are working on what it takes to prevent the unexpected. And that is going to be the whole section for today. And we find it so very important because do you ever have that mantra in your mind? Do not fall. Do not fall. I cannot fall. We want you to think, I've been working on how my body reacts, this reactiveness, and so that we have you a little bit more prepared. So even though you're staying strong, because a lot of people have said, I've had a fall, but I'm strong. I've been at the gym. I don't know if this is familiar to you. I've been working on these things and I still had a fall. Well, maybe you haven't been working on the things that help you react quickly to the unexpected, and that's what today is about. So today we're going to help you work on getting into the unexpected. And when I say that, we're going to work on improving agility, which is your ability to change directions easily while moving. Our fast twitch muscles, which Sarah is going to have a lot about that. What you might think of your fast twitch muscles, those are the ones that come in real fast. They're real explosive. And research has suggested that after age 30, if we're not working fast twitch muscles, they start to decline. So we definitely want to keep those in shape. Reactive balance, the automatic movement patterns that occur when balance is disturbed. And then dual task, the ability to do two things or multiple things at once. You may have seen it in some of the testing we've done on campus, such as having you count backwards while walking. I see the dual task is extremely important because what I notice when I start to see a shift in someone, the first thing I usually notice, and you may too, is that they're walking, and then when they want to talk, they have to stop. And that's a change in cognition and the ability to do two things at once. And that ability is extremely important for balance. So now that I've kind of given us the broad view of where we're going to go, Sarah and I are going to dig deeper into each part so you have more understanding. And then you'll find a handout at the transportation desk if you want to grab it. Sarah has done a wonderful handout on becoming more dynamic, working on the unexpected. So I guess let's talk deeper into the agility portion.
Okay. So when I first think of agility, I usually, when you think, okay, let's think of an agility drill, what do you usually think of? You think of athletes, you think of your football players, but in reality, there's definitely ways that everybody should work on agility, and it can be something that you really dial down to that first phase, then you build your way up, but it's going to be more if you have ever heard of like a plyometric exercise. It's moving those quick motions. It's working on your reflexes. Because a lot of times, I mean, once you've learned your reflexes, I mean, I don't know very many people besides, athletes will try to catch a ball one hand, the other hand, and they'll work on those drills, but that's not something at least I would commonly think, oh, I need to work on my reflexes today. But as we age, those your sensors for are going to diminish a little bit. So that's the first thing I think of and how important it is to work on your reflexes to get those skills, that fast decision like Jennifer was talking about earlier. If something's going to come at you or something's falling or you're falling, you need that quick ability to be able to respond to that stimulus.
So, one thing, I had two thoughts in what you had to say. The first one was some people may not know what a plyometric exercise is. Can you either tell them or show them one?
So
I put her on the spot.
For plyometrics, a lot of times when I like to think about it, it's going to be that quick movement. So, a lot of times we do the chair, like the sit to stand, but more, and this is something that you can get more comfortable with over time, and there are ways that we can move it, but more of a plyometric. So I'm going to bring my arms down to the side, and I'm going to do a quick jump up and then lower myself back down. So I know a lot of y'all aren't comfortable with jumping up and off the floor, but there's definitely other movements that we can do for plyometrics. So a lot of times we can set up different, and this is something that's coming that we're excited about, our obstacle course, that we're going to have different things around campus, but we can set up different cones, and for the plyometrics, it's going to be moving. You're going to move from one side to the other and then back. So it's that quick, explosive movement. It's not something that you're going to do for a full 30 minutes. It's meant to be done in shorter time spans. That way you can get that quick movement, and then you have that time to rest, because that recovery in between each of the plyometrics, or whether or not you're just doing a few, like 2 or 3 reps of something, is very crucial to get those muscles to recover, get that energy, and then use that explosiveness again.
Well, and then when you're talking agility and that explosiveness, a lot of times as you get older, people want to not do that type. You begin to feel like, I shouldn't be moving fast. It might not be good for me. But the research is actually saying that a quick, explosive move and being able to fire those muscles fast is extremely important for helping you to be ready for the unexpected, because it is the unexpected that can create a fall. So working and pushing yourself out of that comfort zone is extremely important to be able to keep your balance as good as possible. And Sarah also mentioned it's the reflexes as well. So you're going to see the tennis ball come back, and we're going to have you do things like juggling with one ball and different activities through some of the classes that will help you work on those reflexes, because that's something we noticed, or I've definitely noticed, we've not been doing in class enough. And that way, to kind of fix that, every time you come to class, there will always be a dynamic portion. In any class, everything we do, you will get a dynamic portion that's working on reflexes and agility. And also, let's talk about fast twitch muscles. Also working on fast twitch muscles, which they have found, it's that same use it or lose it that we see in everything. If you aren't working to improve your fast twitch muscles, after age 30, they start to decline, and they're so important for balance. I know you have looked at a lot with the fast twitch muscles, so I was going to see.
So I've done a lot of research on the different muscle types, and I did take a muscle metabolism class at the university, but in a simple way to do it, because technically there is a type 1 and a type 2, so slow and fast, and then you can go into type 2, the fast, and you can go 2A, 2B, 2X, but I'm just going to break it down to fast and slow. It's the easiest way to remember it. So your slow twitch muscles, those are a lot of times how I like to think about it is your postural muscles. So it's going to be those muscles. They are actually red in color because they're going to have that blood going to it at all times. So that's what's helping us sit up right now. We're using those all the time. You use them throughout the day, but those fast twitch, it does take a little bit more to get those to activate, because the only time that your fast twitch are going to activate is when the force is too much for that slow twitch muscle to handle. So your slow twitch muscles can handle quite a bit, and when you're looking at a muscle, it's usually a mix of them. So you're going to have the slow twitch in there, you're going to have the fast twitch, and it usually mixes a muscle. Some muscles are solely going to be the fast twitch, but we have very few of those, and it is going to take a lot to activate those. So a lot of times people joke, okay, it's so hard, especially more in the bodybuilding realm, to grow your calves. It's because in here you do have some fast twitch muscles, and you have to do that repetitive motion to get them to want to grow. But when it comes to fast twitch, I like to think about it. The force has to be great. It has to be fast in order for those muscles to want to keep turning in. So when you have the slow twitch, we want more of the fast twitch in there. To keep having that process happen, we have to do max effort, max load. And what's important about that is everybody's going to have a different max and a different max load. So that's what we're trying to work with today.
Could you give an example of firing your fast twitch muscles?
Of course. So one of the biggest ones that, and I think it's great that we can explain this in so many different ways, but when you're doing a squat, so the sit, and even if we're using the chair, you're sitting down and you're standing up, working on those fast twitch is going to be almost like confusing your body in a way. You're going to sit down, and then I want you to drive up as fast and as safely as you can. So if I'm doing this, usually we'll come down, we'll go slow, we'll come up, but then working on those fast twitch, we go down, and as soon as you were to hit the chair, you want to go up really fast. So down and up. So you really want to fire, and so fast twitch muscles fatigue very fast because you're getting a lot of power, a lot of energy, and then it needs that time to recover. So a lot of times when we are going to be working on the fast twitch, you only want about 2 to maybe 5 repetitions. A lot of times we do 10, but that's working on more the strength component, that hypertrophy. But when it comes to the fast twitch, we really want to bam, 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 give them the rest. And that's why in between we're going to work on those reflexes, really being dynamic. So we can have some shuffles and then switching directions too. And at the end of the day, fast twitch to me, it's loading that muscle heavy, and it doesn't have to be with weight, it can be body weight, but it's just that speed that you're doing it at and making more force than you're used to. So a lot of times we can also do total body movements. That's why when we ever do anything with jump ropes, really try to jump rope. I know it can be scary to try to want to get the feet off the ground, but start just baby taps and then try to get up, because it has been proven that doing that over time, that repetitive motion is really going to help make you stronger and able to react to those different situations.
And then I see the fast twitch muscles really come into gear in a dynamic way if something comes out and you have to make a quick move to not fall or to not get hit. But you want to do in a safe setting ways that activate those. And I think that that's what Sarah was alluding to or getting to. The next one is reactive balance. And reactive balance is automatic movement patterns that occur when your balance is disturbed. So if you want to think about it, you're walking along and you trip, and it's that jump forward. You're also activating your fast twitch muscles, but then that's also a reactive movement. And if you practice and you work on reactive movements, you're going to be better at them. So we're going to have different drills in the classes where it's like, okay, step to one side, back to marching. Step to that side, back to marching. So that you're creating these habitual and working on these patterns that can really help you not have a fall. Did you have anything you wanted to add about the reactive balance?
I think just with the reactive balance and agility, I know this can be a little bit outside of y'all's comfort zone. I know it can be for me sometimes too, because if you don't grow up doing little drills like that, it can feel weird. But start at your own pace and then really push yourself as safely as you can each time to grow, because that's the only way you're really gonna, because like we said before, if you don't lose it, you use it, but also if you don't challenge it, you're not growing from there. So you always want to, that slight discomfort, it's that fine line. You just want to push for that challenge. That way your body is having to make those adaptations like, okay, we are doing this with our body, so next time we're going to be ready for the next time this happens, or we put this stimulus on our body, whether it's planned or unplanned.
So if it is uncomfortable for you and you don't really like it, it may be just the thing you need. So bear with us, and we're going to do these things in a fun and active way. So let's go to the last point, which is dual task. It's the ability to do more than one thing at a time. We're rarely just walking, just standing, just anything. We're always thinking of grocery lists, talking to a friend, making a phone call while walking, while standing. We're doing several things at once. Keeping that ability and practicing that ability is extremely important as you get older. Also, if you have a disorder like Parkinson's, keeping this work going can be really, really helpful. And so we want to build it and bring it into class. We want to do it in a fun way, maybe with trivia questions and little thought challenges, so that you're always working on moving your body and keeping your mind going at the same time and firing those different ways. There's also, and a different thing, it's not talking about balance, but with brain health, they found that when you're exercising, your brain just really lights up. And it's really good for preventing Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that. When you do exercise and you add mental challenges on top, your brain's even benefiting more. So you get a couple of benefits when you do, multiple benefits when you do dual task. And so one way dual task could happen is, let's just go into a march. I'm springing this on Sarah. And so we're right here. And it could go something like, hey, Sarah, what's 5 times 5? I made an easy one.
25. We're good, guys. I know. What if I came back and was like, what's 13 times
Yeah,
30?
don't do the math.
I know, I
on
won't
me.
do right. I won't do math.
Okay, now going from 75 backwards by 5s.
I would say what's crazy about this one is I know some of y'all had done this one in the dual task that we've tested before. But yeah, you'd go 75, 70, 65, but a lot of times they'll make it a little bit trickier. So once 5s feel comfortable, challenge yourself and push to like 2s or 3s.
Wait, no, I didn't do that to you
Right.
because I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Oh no, I completely
Karma.
appreciate it. Right.
Anyway, yes, we will make it a little harder, but that's the way you'll see it in class.
Exactly.
Because I don't know about you, but when somebody throws a dual task in an exercise class, I feel my brain start to work on it.
Yeah, and it's fun too because you'll have to see, okay, do your feet slow down? Is the movement, are you still doing it correct? So there's a really neat YouTube video out there, and I know we've shown it before, but as soon as certain people will bring in that second task, they're supposed to walk in a straight line, and you'll start to see them in certain people. It's very drastic. They'll go one side to the other, and that's how much you can see. It's really affecting the way that input is coming in, and your body is not able to stay in that line. But the more that we work on it in our classes and the more that you do it, your body is prepped for those, and you're more likely to be able to keep your normal gait the whole time.
So it makes the dual task important. Did we have anything else we wanted to bring up about the dynamic classes?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all, so I'm excited to get them going.
I know. So from now on, every time you come to a class, rather it's yoga, or which will be a challenge, or strength training, you will always see a dynamic portion because we feel that this is so important. And then if you're not coming to class, but you want to improve your dynamic fitness, we will have a handout at the transportation desk where the sign-up sheets are that have exercises that you can do. We'll also be sending it out on email if you want to get it that way. So start to work on that dynamic fitness. It's characterized by constant change, activity, and progress, and it's getting prepared for the unexpected. We hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you.